You're watching Today with myself, Mfundo Mabalane. Now, a KwaZulu-Natal man arrested after allegedly confessing to the murder of his girlfriend has been released. The 40-year-old from Eshowe allegedly called the police to report the crime. Police found a knife and blood in his house, but the woman's body has, however, not been found. Our senior reporter Dasen Thathiah is covering this story for us. Good afternoon, Dasen. Very disturbing story. Do we know the grounds for the release of that suspect at this point?
Definitely disturbing and also quite complex. You know, we've spent most of the day on the ground trying to track the story from the courthouse, where we got some details there, to the area in which that man lives. Obviously, we can't name him because he has been released by the court. Technically, at this point, he's not charged with anything. But let me explain that. So he's been in police custody for the past few days, and today was meant to be his first appearance in court. As you rightfully mentioned in the intro, he allegedly confessed to police when he was arrested that he had killed his girlfriend, but he did not make a formal confession at that time. He then was assisted by a lawyer, and as I mentioned, it was meant to be his first appearance in the Eshowe Magistrates Court, but that was later moved to eNCA. But when the case got not in the prosecutor, and that's because there were still results that were outstanding. There were certain samples that were taken from the home and needed to his back. They could in fact charge him with murder, because that police had initially wanted to pin on the man. The body of the alleged victim here has not been found. But what all of this really means is that until that happens and until those results come back, this man is a free man. And the investigation, however, from the police side will continue. And whether he's then identified as a suspect, that's something that we'll have to see in the coming weeks or months.
Dasen, this is all very technical and makes sense to me and you, but how have community members reacted to just his release? Because they would have heard that he confessed and he's out and police are investigating. How have they reacted?
Well, it seems like all of this was quite low profile. We came out to the area and we just spoke to one of the neighbors here who said that he wasn't that type of person, so they couldn't believe that this had in fact happened. But beyond that, we also had an opportunity to engage with his family, because we went to the family home. And the family home says that this was a misunderstanding. So their version of events, according to him, is that he was drunk at the weekend, and on the Sunday he had somehow realized that he'd sustained an injury. There was a knife on his property. There was blood all over the place, but he couldn't really explain it. So the family alleges here that the police interrogated him. They couldn't explain why the police ended up here in the first place. They say that they interrogated him, and during that interrogation he blurted out the name of his girlfriend, which led them to believe that he had in fact killed her. But all of this has a lot of missing pieces. I think that we will have to definitely wait for this legal process to unfold to get more clarity on exactly what transpired. But now is to find out what has happened to that alleged victim, if anything.
No, this is honestly very disturbing as we observe 16 days of no violence against women and children. But thank you very much, Dasen, for that update. That's senior reporter Dasen Thathiah out in Eshowe.